You're a complicated case. The room was cold, as most hospital rooms are. But in that moment, I felt the heat rising through my body. The kind of heat that lets you know that your anxiety is flaring up. I was uncomfortable. I was nervous. I was scared. We had just sat in the waiting room, making eye contact with other patients. Some were on the tail end of chemotherapy. Others were thin. Their heads bald. They didn't have any hair. Letting us know that they were still in the fight. Our fight was just beginning, though. Because why did we have to be complicated? Why was my dad's cancer a complicated case? It made me feel like we were outliers. The camaraderie, the sense of family, the sense of community that I had just built in my head and in my heart, frankly, with the other patients was starting to fade away because, again, we were a complicated case. One that the doctor didn't know if he could solve and didn't know if any sort of therapy would work or fix. But in that moment, I knew that I had to ask questions. I had to advocate. I had to take up space. I had to become expansive. And not just in that moment, but think about other areas where you don't have to be expansive. Could I be expansive and take up space in rooms as well? Could I sit at a table with people and give myself permission to take up space? The word expansive was officially introduced to me in therapy. We've heard a lot about mental health, right?
All right.
Oddly, though, it made me think of a Lil Wayne song. Carter 3. But he starts this song by saying, I feel big, not big like in the sense of gaining weight, not anything like that. But I feel like colossal. Now, we know Lil Wayne is not big, okay? He's not big. Like, how do you feel colossal, sir? But what he was saying is, my presence is big. I'm allowing myself to take up space, to be expansive. So today, I want to talk to you about what it means to be expansive and what taking up space could look like for you. So one of the first things is merge. Pretty simple word. I mean, it means to go continually and smoothly. How many of you guys have driven in Dallas traffic? I don't think people know what merge means. They kind of just hop. They just hop. But another way to describe merge that resonates deeply with me is to join forces. I was a quiet child, shy. I'm introvert. Self-proclaimed, but I think most people who know me would attest to that. But I allowed myself to merge who I was to merge with who I'm becoming. I didn't have to leave the shy introvert behind. I just had to allow her to merge into who I wanted her to be, to take up space.
Tell your story, sis.
The next thing after merge is to resolve. And resolve means to be firm and resolute in whatever you decide to do. To make a choice. See, in that hospital room, I didn't really have a choice to take up space. I was forced to take up space. I was forced to ask questions. I was forced to advocate for my dad in his cancer journey. But sometimes, that's not going to sustain you. To take up space and to be expansive, there has to be resolve. You have to make a choice. You have to be intentional about taking up space, expanding in that room, expanding in that table. So I want to ask you, take a moment. Think about an area where you're holding back a little bit, where there's a desire, but there's not a resolve. There's not an intentionality. You're not resolute. Go home with that. Where do you need to become expansive? Then there's innovate. And so, merge allows you to bring who you were into who you're becoming, but innovate means to do something new, to do something different. Allow room for the thing that you need that will allow you to be expansive. So think about taking a breath and then exhaling. What your lungs are doing is letting out the old and then letting in the new.
All right. Yes. Come on now.
The new air.
Yes. Come on.
Merge, resolve, innovate. MRI. It's fitting because I started out talking about my dad's cancer journey. It wasn't intentional, but it makes sense. An MRI allows doctors to scan the inside of your body. So scan yourself. Scan who you are.
Speak. Tell your story.
Examine yourself when it comes to becoming expansive. The doctors, the diagnosis, the deluge of information. It did a number, but it pushed me more into the direction that I was supposed to go and made me start to think about expanding in every area of my life. I'm so thankful to God and my parents who pushed me, but the choice is mine. So, I challenge you to take up space in every room you walk into,
Yes. Come on now.
in every table you sit at,
Yes. All right.
wherever you show up. And the thing about becoming expansive, expanding, allows room for more. New people, new experiences. So, with that, I want you to put your hand on your heart and your stomach. And I want you to say, I am expansive. Thank you.